now listening to the Palmetto Dugout Show, hosted by State Director Sammy Esposito, Associate Scouts Drew Stewart and Sean Smith, that discuss all things related to amateur baseball in South Carolina. Here are your hosts.
Welcome into episode 122 of the Palmetto Dugout Show. All I have is me and Coach Smith right now. Austin is MIA, might still be recovering from Saturday. Coach Espo will be on shortly. But Coach Sean, what's going on?
Not too much, man. Doing all right. I missed out on fun weekend down there in Charleston with you guys, but glad you guys got to hold it down and have a good time, and glad you're home safely, obviously, as well. And we'll roll in here the last couple of weeks here at the playoffs. So.
Coach, we're still recovering from Saturday, or some of us are. Obviously, Austin still is because he's not here. Austin has some heat exhaustion to still recover from. But here we are. And Coach, we'll kind of start this off here. We'll flip it to you. Big week in playoff baseball. We've kind of dwindled down to a few teams left here. At least, at most, 4 teams in each classification. Here we are. Weekly recap. Coach Sean, I know you went to a big game, not South Carolina High School League, but Skeeza.
Yeah, the Skeeza Yoffs. That's we were getting fired up down there in the 4A championship game for championship series. Excuse me. I was at game 1 with Ben Lippin and Hilton Head Christian Academy. Shout out first of all to Hilton Head Christian for, even though they lost that first game that I went to, they ended up pulling it out, and they are the state champions in 4A of Skeeza. So congratulations to them. Got to speak to Coach down there for a few minutes, and he was saying that with all the travel days in between, all the rainouts that was going on, they were going to have to play back to back, and that's exactly what they did. They played on Wednesday at Ben Lippin, and they played Thursday and Friday down. One was at Hilton Head Christian, and the next one was somewhere in Orangeburg. I don't remember what stadium it was, but it was a neutral site in Orangeburg. But Hilton Head Christian ended up getting the job done out there. But we were there. Good chance to see Ben Lippin have a pretty good run there for him. They had what was the score, about 5-1, 6-1, something like 7-1, something around there. And they had a guy go out there, and Sean Lee, he was absolutely dealing the whole game. He was their starting pitcher and hit leadoff for him. Drove in a run at the plate, but on the mound, he was pretty electric. It was 84 to 87 with the fastball, and all of a sudden popped a couple of 89s there at the very end of the game. Really mixing in a pretty solid slider as well. Kind of throwing that first pitch, get me over slider. That's going to get some good, hitters not looking out for that one. So some good takes and things like that. And that was getting some strikes out there for him. And then, he really found that fastball as well, the fastball command as the game went later on, and ended up finishing the game with 11 strikeouts. Yeah, here you go. 7 innings, 1 hit, none earned, 1 run on the line, but 1 walk, and then 11 Ks, like I said. He was 74 to 77 there with the slider as well. But he's got pretty good mobility. Coming down there, he's originally from South Korea, and was committed now to Lenore Ryan College in North Carolina up there. But yeah, he mixed it all pretty good in there. And here's his final inning. Kind of wish it was a little better video, but if you watch, there's going to be a bunch of sliders here coming in, and he just kind of threw it off the front hip to that right-handed hitter, just like there, where they would kind of be fishing down into the lower parts of the zone, into the left-handed batter's box. And then here, this last little sequence was pretty impressive. He went fastball in the outer half, and then another fastball for a swing and miss. And then I believe this is going to be the last pitch of the game right here. Yep. And he dots it up on the outer half again, and that's going to get it done there for Ben Lippin in that game 1. And like I said, unfortunately, wasn't able to get it all the way, wrap it all the way up with the state title, but they jumped out with a really impressive game 1 win with Sean Lee at the helm there. Other guys that made an impact was senior David McElveen. He's going to Erskine College. He was 1 for 4 at a nice little base hit up the middle. Breon Earl going to UNC Pembroke, 2 for 4 with a double and a base hit, and scored a run as well. And then Mason O'Kane, the 2025 still uncommitted catcher, 1 for 3 with a couple of ribs as well, and a walk and a K in there. But yeah, good opportunity to see Ben Lippin. Obviously, hadn't seen a whole lot of Skeeza ball throughout the regular season, things like that. But just kind of with other games going on, more teams to see, different guys to see. But no, I was excited to kind of have an opportunity to zero in on those guys, and really cool environment too. I mean, obviously just state title game, so they're going to bring out a lot of students and families and things like that. But it was pretty tight. Everybody was locked in there. The student section was going nuts. So shout out to them, and they provided a pretty good environment. But like I said before, props goes out to Hilton Head Christian for getting the job done over there. And they ended up as your Skeeza 4A state champions. But yeah, got to see a good game over there last Wednesday.
Coaching their back-to-back.
Mm-hmm.
Went last year too. So it's hard to go back-to-back. Shout out those guys for that as well. Sean, I think me and you were the only two at games this week, right?
I guess so.
I think so. Austin did not go out. However, so I took the trip to TL Hanna. Catawba Ridge came to town, and big matchup there. A lot of scouts in attendance to see none other than Caden Glauber, who we got to see very early on in the year. Coach, it's a battle for the top arm in the state between him and Carson Bowman after his performance against TL Hanna. We'll kind of throw it up here for you. There's not much you can say, Coach. It was just electric from the get-go. Let's take the sound off. Here we go. Big, tall, lean frame, 89-92, top at 94. Here's the thing, Coach. So we were 93-94 in the second inning. Middle of the game, we're sitting 87-88. And then he comes out in the seventh inning with Catawba Ridge up about 2 runs, 93-94 yet again. He had to be playing with those guys at Hanna for those middle innings to disrupt some timing, obviously. But the slider was 81-83. Actually threw an 85-mile-an-hour slider in the seventh inning. Coach, that's a pretty hard slider.
Say the least. It seemed pretty juiced up. I mean, yeah, kind of coming out, not unlike Sean Lee as well. It's kind of coming out there and, kind of juicing it up throughout the game. And, as getting that last inning, I mean, those final 3 outs are always the hardest ones to get. I mean, no doubt about it. And so, yeah, if you can come out there and have your best stuff, like each of the couple guys that we've talked about here, that's pretty impressive. With Glauber specifically, now, because remember, he reclassified from 2026 to 2025. So he's technically draft eligible right now, or going into this summer's draft, obviously, and he's only 17 years old. With a guy, like you said, 6'4" frame, lean frame, got a lot more weight to be put on. I mean, North Carolina has he's committed to North Carolina, but North Carolina has a kid out there now that skipped his senior year too. And so but he went to school and was just going to start his timer a little bit early. So I don't know if that's kind of the same idea, or if Caden thinks that he might have some people in his ear telling him that he's probably going to have some teams calling his name or thinking about taking him this summer. So he just thought maybe grabbing that extra year would be positive for him too. But no, I mean, really good to see. I mean, you said 18 strikeouts, and you texted me. You said
7 innings, 2 hits, 18 strikeouts. Wow.
That's silly. I mean, yeah, that's you said after text me some explicit things to say what you were watching at the game there. You said this is probably the best game I've seen in 3 years. So I was like, yeah, you might be right. I was like, that's pretty crazy. So props out to him. And obviously they moved on now to who are they playing? Catawba Ridge.
They're going to take on Indian Land. Little region matchup there.
Nice.
But not to discredit what Hanna did. Pfeiffer Glenn had a big double in the first inning, and he has progressed enormously from where he was. And a really talented kid, especially at the shortstop position. They've moved Craddock off there. Really smooth actions in the field. Pfeiffer Glenn's got a bright future. I know he's getting a lot of eyes on him, and he'll have a lot of eyes on him this summer as well.
No doubt. I mean, him specific, because I got to see Hanna down there at the Classic in Georgetown at the beginning of the year. So it's just kind of interesting to see. I mean, obviously between our tournament and down in the Shipyard and all that stuff, seeing all these teams kind of progress. And I don't think in that first weekend that I saw Hanna, I don't think Pfeiffer Glenn was in the starting lineup. So to see him now, and he's leading off and hitting shortstop in every single one of their playoff games. I mean, that's a testament to the work he's put in and the results he's had this year as well. And obviously now a pretty big impact player in that Yellow Jackets lineup, and now going to be there for a couple more years as well. So that'll be somebody that we hopefully will have more opportunity to see during the summer, and maybe at a couple of events and things like that. But yeah, he's the sky's the limit for him, and he's got a lot of opportunity. You were on him first too, Coach Pfeiffer. You said him at All-State North. You were like, hey, watch this kid. I was like, all right. And
he's on a lot of kids first. What are you talking about?
Something like that. You tell people that. That's what's up.
Best eyes in the state, Coach. That's what they say. However, before we get to the brackets here and talk a little playoff baseball, run over some events. Big events upcoming. Scout days are coming. We got the Blacksmith Scout Day this coming Saturday. Just had the Diamond Devils previously on Saturday. That stuff will roll out throughout the week. Then we've got some more Scout days with Power Scout Day coming up as well. But our big events, Team South Carolina Trials down at College of Charleston, coming up very soon, early June.
June 4th, I want to say, right before the Shipyard Showdown, the first one.
Correct. We'll be down there. Hoping to see a lot of talent. Big qualifiers for those big events, your junior futures, your future games, senior future games, and the border battle as well. Mm-hmm. And then even into the top prospect games into the August. So make sure that you're attending one of those so we can see that talent. But, Coach, you qualify for those Lake Point future games, junior futures, senior futures, biggest event of the year, period.
No doubt. I mean, that's why we use these kind of in-state events, and we're going to hit, like you said, down in Charleston, obviously at the beginning of the year or at the beginning of the summer, and then we'll make our way up to we'll be in Columbia as well at South Carolina on the 2nd of July, and then we'll be up at Wofford on July 16th. All these Team Carolina Trials, Rising Stars events, IDs to kind of see where our guys are at and see if they can kind of, match up with the quality of talent that we're kind of looking for in a future games or junior future games kinds of player. I mean, obviously it helps to, we're looking at specific age groups when it comes to that, but now with the addition of the senior future games, the super sophomore games as well, all these different things, we're looking for kids that are going into their senior years, all the way down to kids going into their freshman year. So all these events are really good things for us to kind of lay our eyes on some guys that maybe we haven't seen before, either due to the lack of opportunity in high school ball or whatever it may be, but so we're looking forward to all that. And yeah, hopefully, especially this one coming up in Charleston, we'll be doing that whole tournament. We'll be doing that whole showcase, and then we'll roll right into that tournament, which I know you and Austin will be coaching in, of course. That'll be kind of a good look. And, if there's anybody that's maybe doubling up between playing a Team Carolina Trials and then rolling right into that tournament as well, that would be a pretty good opportunity to see them kind of what they're doing in a showcase environment and then the game setting pretty quickly right after that. So yeah, we're all looking forward to it, and we'll roll all this content out there when we get it. And it's gonna be a fun summer. Looking forward to it. Just these last couple of weeks here with high school, and then we'll get going.
Almost there, Coach. Feels like it's already started. Here we are. Now, as we don't know what Espo's doing here. He won't text me back. However, we'll move into some playoff baseball now. We'll throw the records up for you. Sean at 22-11, Austin at 13-20. He's in a hole. Don't know if he's going to dig it out. I'm at 17-16. Sammy at 18-15. Catching up to you there, Sean.
He's coming back. No, I mean, I think I had, what was that, like 2-2 this week or something? Or how many games did we pick? 6? 5, 6?
I can pull the exact number up for you. You were 4-2.
Oh, okay. That's pretty good. That's right around my winning percentage anyway. So I'm just going to stay the course, and hopefully we'll come out here with it. Do we announce that I get anything, or you have to do, or Austin's going to have to do something, or we're just keeping track?
I guess we're just keeping track. Only when I lose do I have to do something. Apparently.
Exactly.
That's how it works.
You got to say something way beforehand. We got to do something for football this coming year.
We will. We'll do something. Yeah. We'll do something for football this year. Yeah. Hey, before I get to the brackets here, real quick, and I wrote this down. Shipyard Showdown teams. Each year, last year we had 2 state champs. I think that it came from the Shipyard Showdown. Because currently we have 5 teams from the Shipyard Showdown that are still in the playoffs. Let's look here. 4 of the 5 are in a comfortable position to make it to the state championship. We've got Chapman, Philip Simmons, Catawba Ridge, Oceanside, and Hanahan. 5 teams is impressive, Coach. There could be the 3A playoffs could be a guaranteed Shipyard Showdown champ. Chapman and Oceanside, maybe. Hanahan also in that 3A. They just faced Oceanside recently. How about that? 5. We got 5.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they keep saying is that you come down to the Shipyard Showdown, there's a chance you're going to go deep in the regular season and the playoffs for a regular season game. So that's pretty exciting. And, we'll kind of wait around until the brackets come up here to dive a little bit more into it. But, yeah, I mean, some of those matchups, we'll have to see. I mean, I know I'm thinking of 3A specifically, like you said, where there's a chance we might have one from both lower state and upstate. But, yeah, we'll kind of see how this happens and hopefully, yeah, we get some more teams coming down that want to come to the Shipyard, and obviously, it seems to be a little bit of a good omen. So maybe think about that, coaches. Huh?
Very competitive preseason tournament there. Who knows? So let's get to it. Obviously, the brackets are on our Twitter page. They're pinned to the profile, so if you need to go back and look at those, obviously you can do that. They're updated as finals roll in. So we'll start here. Sammy said he was 10 out, Coach. That was 2 minutes ago, so he's 8 minutes away. Maybe he'll catch up to us. We'll break down some brackets. That's what we'll do.
That's what we'll do.
Before we can. Now, we will make picks on these brackets, obviously. Austin's not here, so we'll get his pick, but we'll still release that pick. Here we go. Let's get to it. We'll start with the 1A classification. Let's take that off. We'll start here. Where Shoals sitting in a position, big time showing from them. They've got to be beat twice between McBee and Abbeville. Abbeville lost to McBee that first game, but then fought back. Them and Dixie had a big game the other day. So they'll take on McBee now in that loser's bracket game to have to travel to Ware Shoals. Ware Shoals, in this district championship, had to beat Louisville twice. They beat Louisville twice. And here they are. They've won 5-game winning streak, Coach. It's a good time to get hot for Ware Shoals.
I think that would really disrupt a lot of our 1A upper state picks if Ware Shoals was to roll through here and get that dub. So I hate to say that we're rooting against them, but congratulations to them for being in the position they are to advance in the playoffs.
It's big for them. Now we'll skip the other two. Coach Smith, we'll let you go first here. Does Ware Shoals pull it off and win at least one, or does McBee or Abbeville beat them twice?
I mean, they've got two pretty big wins against Dixie and McBee already. So I'm going to say Ware Shoals pulls it out. They're going to be that 1A upper states champion.
Great minds think alike. Isn't that what they say?
And you're just playing the odds at this point too, right?
You are playing the odds. I think that McBee Abbeville game is going to be really, really close game. Can't tell you a winner there. However, I think Ware Shoals does win the upper state, and I think Ware Shoals wins the state championship.
All right. You heard it here first, Coach.
You heard it here first. Ware Shoals, the shocker of the year, really.
Good for them. Doing it.
You move to the lower state in the 1A classification. Look at Latta. Latta's sitting in a position to advance the state championship, having to be beat twice. Lakeview, Johnsonville. Coach, I was all over this 1A lower state. Preseason, I took Latta. Midseason, I took Lakeview. Midseason, I took Johnsonville. End of the season, I took Lakeview. So I had the three teams correct. So I should stick to my preseason picks is what I'm thinking here. But Latta, you've got the three teams left are all in the same region.
Wow, that's pretty tough. So you're rolling with Latta for sure? Or I'm sorry, Lakeview?
No, Coach. I'm going back to my preseason pick starting today. I think Latta rolls into it, but however, they do lose to Ware Shoals in the state championship.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I'm still sticking with Lakeview here. I've been on them the whole year, so I'm rolling with Lakeview still.
Hey, they've got a chance to do it. They've got some arms, got some hitters. Who knows? They're gonna have to travel to Latta though. Latta's a fun
big
place
commitment down there too, right? Most
yes.
Mr.
McGill.
Mr. McGill, yeah. To what school was that? I forget.
Coach, I can't remember. That's how bad.
Oh, Claflin.
That's it, Claflin. See, there you go. How about this one? Your 2A upper state, Batesburg, Leesville, who Coach Sean was on very early, correct?
Yeah. Well, I didn't think I took him to. I had Mid Carolina pretty much throughout the year. I think Austin was wrong with Batesburg.
It might have been Austin.
I had Braden Holman as my player of the year in 2A though, which I'm not really sure how that's going to work itself out. But no, I mean I'm happy to see them having a lot of success down there too. And I got to go see them play Saluda to clinch the region championship. That was just a couple weeks ago. But yeah, I mean they're absolutely rolling. They played this. I sent you a screenshot of this when this official upper state bracket became ready to go. It was Clinton, Batesburg, Mid Carolina, Strom Thurmond, a whole bunch of teams that we've been pretty high on the whole year. And yeah, this is really exciting, and good to see all this kind of quartet of teams going at it here. And obviously too bad for Clinton just kind of rolling in there against some good teams. I mean, Batesburg Leesville is pretty hot, and then Mid Carolina's, they always have the talent and things like that. So that's been a pretty good little upper state bracket here. And you go first here. I don't know who's coming out of this.
Well, I want to point this out. Big time matchup, Strom Thurmond, Mid Carolina, Monday to have to go to Batesburg on, that would be Wednesday, 19th. Yeah, on Wednesday for the upper state championship. Coach, I'm going to roll with Batesburg. I think it's going to be hard to go to Batesburg and beat them twice.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. And because you're having to get 3 more wins where they only need 1. Yeah, I think so too. I just think the math's going to work out that, we got Batesburg there coming out of the upper state in 2A, I'd say.
It's going to be a tough one. Brittle's going to make some picks too. If he picks against Mid Carolina, they might break his kneecaps again or try to. You're to a lower state. How about that? We go back. We talked about the Shipyard Showdown teams. Philip Simmons sitting there, and they had a rough week at the Shipyard Showdown. Now, they did play much bigger teams, very talented teams. They beat Andrews. They're sitting there. We got some images that didn't work there. How about that? Hopefully the next 2 brackets aren't the same like that. But Andrews will take on East Clarendon. East Clarendon has had a good run this year. I'm thinking East Clarendon's going to match up with Philip Simmons. Who knows? But another competitive bracket there, and could have a Shipyard Showdown team in the state championship game.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to toot my own horn here, but I've been on Philip Simmons since the beginning of the season, and so that's definitely going to remain my pick as well. I guess you say you got it too, but I don't know.
They were my sleeper. Cool you picked them. They were my sleeper, though.
Well, which one's better? I guess I don't know. But yeah, those Iron Horses, they went down there, like you said, having some pretty good competition at the Shipyard Showdown, and like you said as well, didn't turn out as well as I guess maybe they'd wanted to, but they're getting it done in May, and that's what matters. So yeah, I got the Iron Horses coming out of Lower State down there.
They've got the Ebling brothers, who junior future alums. And once again, that's tough. This one's a tough one. However, I think I'm going to stick to my guns here. East Clarendon beats Andrews, wins 2 at Philip Simmons.
All right. On the road.
Coach Cujo's got him. So that's how it is.
Yep.
We'll move to 3A here. Sammy should be coming on very shortly. How about this? Another Shipyard Showdown team sitting in the driver's seat here in Chapman. They've got to be beat twice. St. Joe with a big upset in the first round over Southside Christian. Southside Christian won the other day. It was a Fowler versus Bowman matchup that Sabres won, and they'll travel to St. Joe's tomorrow in order to face Chapman for 2 games. A lot of talent here. This one could be a tricky one in 3A.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with St. Joe's being the team that took down Southside Christian in the first round here, I mean, in the first round of this upper state bracket. But yeah, good for them. I mean, obviously nobody's really touched Southside the whole year, and they finally kind of took a loss there. But I'm going to roll with. I think Southside's still coming out of this bracket. I think they got another win of them here against St. Joe's, and then they're going to take 2 from Chapman.
Coach, Chapman's a hard place to go win 2 at.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pull up something to see if I can tell you. Oh, I can. Okay, so let's talk about this. So if Southside beats St. Joe's, I believe Carson Bowman is eligible to throw against Chapman in 1 game. Let's talk about Bowman a little bit. 42 and a third innings pitch, Coach.
Jeez.
But six damn hits.
Wow.
2 runs, 0 earned runs, 0. 6 walks, 101 strikeouts. What's more impressive here is half of those strikeouts are looking.
He's impressive, man. I mean, he's like you said, the best pitcher in the state. I mean, regardless of
We have an ERA of 0, obviously. Our whip, walks, hits per innings pitched, is a .283.
Jeez. 0.28. My God.
He's only got 2 stolen bases on him. His batting average against is .044. There's no one that can compare statistically to that in the state, and it may be very few that can compare that statistically in the country.
I mean, no, that's what Sammy always says too, is that when he came to that All-American showcase, and we had some of our top scouts down there, and they were like, that's the best pitcher that we saw here, both in terms of stuff and pitchability as well. So, no, I mean, he's super impressive, and we've talked about it at length throughout the year. But he just always goes out there and does it. And I think when Austin said he went out there, that there was a couple guys that they're like, yeah, well, we were in the area and we wanted to come watch him pitch, and like that's kind of how it is for Mr. Bowman down there. But yeah, I'm gonna take Southside Christian and still come out of this bracket.
Coach Espo, we're talking about Bowman here. We've got 42 and a third innings pitched with 101 Ks, no earned runs.
Is that good?
Not bad.
Is that good? I mean, that's kind of what you're looking for, isn't it?
And he's going to be eligible to pitch against Chapman in a game if they can beat St. Joe.
Coach, that's how about that to have waiting in the wings if you need it.
Got to win Monday though.
Got to win. Yeah, got to win first. So,
Sean, I'm sticking with you. Southside Christian wins the next 3. We're going to put Sammy right into the fire here.
Throw it in.
Southside. You got to make a pick.
Southside. Been around with them the whole time. We're just going to stay with them.
Look at that Shipyard Showdown team waiting though.
I know, man. I like Chapman, but I picked Southside back in the day. We're going to ride dirty with them.
Riding dirty. We're sticking here. We're going to stay on the Shipyard Showdown teams here. Oceanside sitting in the driver's seat. Close game against Hanahan the other day. The Stewie Hawks. Stewie Hawks will take home Fox Creek in an elimination game. Some big arms still left in this 3A lower state bracket. Oceanside, which we knew at the beginning of the year, we missed on them. But here they are.
We missed on a few. We hit on a few. We missed on a few. But,
it's usually what happens.
Yeah. But, Coach, it's, you hadn't called them the Stewie Hawks until here recently. So I don't know if we can hop on the bandwagon.
They lost against Oceanside, and I was no longer tagged.
Yeah. I want to blame them for that, for tagging you and then losing, because that's what normally happens. When you jump on a bandwagon, a team takes that L.
No, don't say that. I got a lot of big things coming up, so don't say that.
So they're probably hoping you hop on the Fox Creek bandwagon or the Oceanside bandwagon.
Ooh.
But, I mean,
Sean had to run somewhere real quick. Sean is taking Oceanside for the 3A.
Yeah.
I told Sean at the beginning of this I was going to stick with my preseason picks because I took Lada at 1A, and I'm going to stick to it. I think Oceanside's going to – did I take Oceanside? No, I didn't.
I didn't take Oceanside.
I did not. I'm sticking with my preseason picks. Give me the Stewie Hawks to win the next 3.
I should go ahead and apologize to those guys right now because you pick them and you usually burn it down. But Oceanside, I mean, they've been proving it. They're talented. They're deep. That's not as much of a knock on those other teams. Those other teams are very talented, but Oceanside, I would tend to say, has got a little bit deeper of a team. So we'll stick with Oceanside on that one.
It's going to be tough to go to the Shipyard and win 2 against Oceanside.
Ooh, is it?
It's going to be tough. So those are our, if I can get off my webpage here, those are our 1 to 3A picks here. Coach, you missed out on the 1 and 2A, but I'll get that later.
Go get my picks.
It's okay. We'll see if Sean can pop in the coach while I'm here and we're waiting on Sean. We talked about this earlier, right? The events coming up. We've had some scout days, but we got those Team South Carolina trials coming up very soon for juniors, seniors, and the future games, and then into the top prospect games as you move on.
Yeah, and along with the super sophomore games, right? All of our events are huge that roll with us, right? I mean, those Team Carolina trials are play a big part for us to lead into those big time invite only events. But not only that, they're huge events for the players, right? These are pieces of the puzzle to help build those players' resumes, right? Now, and we talk about this all the time on our show. And we talk about it when we talk to players, and we talk about it when we talk to parents, and we pump this a lot. But right, our events, a lot of times people utilize it or use it for their recruiting advantage to get to the next level. But also, let's not forget about this part. Our events, right? We gather a lot of data, a lot of analytics, a lot of video that go in there, and with that, the players can use that to help develop themselves and to become better baseball players, which in turn helps that make them an easier more recruitable player for the future, right? So it's harder than it's ever been in today's day and age to get recruited to go to the next level, right? I don't care what level that is, the next level. Whether that's wanting to go play at the Power 4 levels, whether it's go play at any Division 1 level, Division 2, Division 3, junior college. I don't care what it is, but the best way to get that is to become the best player you can be. So you come to one of our events, right? And we have our first Team Carolina trials on June 4th down at the College of Charleston. And right, everybody goes, oh, I'm going to go down there, I'm going to put up numbers, I'm going to get this and go in my profile and help me get recruited. Yes, that's one piece of the puzzle. The other piece of the puzzle is, for us, is to help get for those big time invite only events. But also the third piece, and it should be selfishly for the players as well, is to take that data, to take that video, to get that to help them become the best baseball player they can be. If I'm a pitcher, right, what is the TrackMan telling me about my pitches, right? What is the video showing me I'm doing in that, right? You are getting professionally edited video of your bullpen session along with the TrackMan information. If I'm a hitter, you're getting the professionally edited video along with TrackMan, along with the blast numbers. I'm getting my run times. I'm getting the jump mat. I'm getting all the grip strength. I'm getting all these pieces of the puzzle. How does that help me become the best baseball player I can be, to then, which will help me develop, which will help me make my profile, my resume become better to help me get to that next level. I don't care if I'm 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, whatever those ages are, you put it all that piece together to get me off there. But we utilize our events multi-purpose way, right? We get them down there. Our goal is to help promote the players of the Palmetto State and get them out there and help them along the way, right? Get them to the next level. And whether that is to help them from the JV team to the varsity team to the college level, so forth and so forth, whatever that is, to go out there. But it's quickly become an event season for us. We've had a couple really big scout days. We're about to have another humongous scout day coming up and finish with a few more scout days and then roll right into our Team Carolina trials. And we've had players, we've talked about this a ton of times. We've had players pop up that we have not known that came out of nowhere to our Team Carolina trials that are uber talented players and have gotten invites to, whether it's the junior future games, the future games, super sophomore games, or whatever it is, and has put themselves at the next level to be recruited by top tier programs or make it to the Super 60 down the road or, the All-American game. So it's our events. I think a lot of times we overlook certain parts of our events across the state and people go, oh, it's just for this, it's just for that. No, it's a lot of things. Plus the other part, if you're a younger player, I'll say this one too. You come to our event, you run through all these things, the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with doing it. So now call it a junior, and I get invited to go to a college's camp and they run us through a showcase. well, now I'm comfortable running through a showcase setting, and I'm going to be able to perform at my highest level to where I don't care how good of a player you are. If you haven't done something before, you're not as comfortable doing it. So you get an opportunity to run through these things and get that number and get that data, and now you can get yourself out there when it's that time to get recruited. It's another day. It's another day at the ballpark for you, and you can be able to perform at your highest level.
100%.
Can't wait. Coach Espos does it best. That's why he joined the show.
That's why I came. Sorry for being a little late.
Coach, you go to the barbershop? Is that where you were?
No, I wasn't at the barbershop. I was at my son's little league's team end of the year party. So sorry for being a little late. It ran over a little longer than expected, but the boys are having fun. They're getting after it. So more so, we were there to celebrate the players and the coaches that volunteered and put in their time and effort to coach up the boys along the way. So
don't the people of the PBL know you are on the most important podcast in the state, though? It goes on Sunday.
You know, sometimes you gotta be there for your. You know, I missed their championship game yesterday. So missed the championship game yesterday.
He was too busy sweating.
I was sweating.
Oh, I heard you was undercover. I heard Drew was out sweating and you were undercover.
You know, that's why some people's names are on the website and some people's aren't. You know what I mean?
Hey, no kidding.
That means, Sean, you're going to be undercover soon.
Hey, no. Damn right. Come on.
You know, it's okay. Some people can't handle the heat. Some can, you know?
Some can. It's just who you – never mind. Anyway, let's move back to some picks here. We'll move to the 4A setup. We got some Final Fours as we move to the 4 and 5A brackets. Here we go. Your 4A playoffs are settled. Seneca, the number 2 seeded team, will take on Daniel, the 4 seeded team, in the Upper State Championship in a best-of-3 format. That will start on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday if necessary. The same with 4 seed Airport and 6 seed South Florence. We'll start on the lower state side here for the lower state championship. But no number 1 seeds are left. Daniel took down Fountain Inn in 3 games. Airport beat I don't even know what out of Gilbert in 2 games. And here Airport is sitting. But Airport, South Florence. Who we got in a best-of-3?
I'm
going Sean, you're first. You're winning, obviously.
Oh, sorry.
I'm last.
Yes.
I haven't had a chance to see South Florence this year. Let me see if I can pull up the game changer a little bit. See what they've been doing.
Oh, here we go.
I can't do a little research.
This is why he's first, I guess, right?
Yeah,
that's why he's first.
Except
did we show the records? Did we show the records? Did we show the comeback of me, by the way?
Pull back up.
Did I miss that?
Here, but
Let's pull back up. Did we? Boy, can we see where we were about 3-4 weeks ago? Yeah.
I think I've been going at the exact same pace. You've been getting better.
Austin's in a damn hole.
Yeah. It's way down there. At least you guys got a little bit better. I mean, we have to do pretty decent at that, you'd think. But let's see. South Florence been beaten. It's a swept Bishop England, then took 2 out of 3 from Beaufort. That's a good little team there. Give me the Eagles in 3. Are we picking games? I'll take 3 games.
No, we're not picking games. Just give me your lower state champ.
I think I'm gonna go Airport, I guess. Coach Bradwell, if you're watching.
After all that.
Well, I mean, because I didn't know if they had, if I looked at it and they beat North Myrtle Beach and Hartsville or something, I would have been like tough. I would have been like South Florence, but they didn't do that.
After all that. Yeah, I mean, obviously South Florence has been the team that I don't even want to say we haven't talked about. You haven't heard about them from anything along the way. Mm-hmm. And all they've done is keep winning. So kudos to them. But I think it ends now. So Airport just they figured out. We've had an opportunity to watch them quite a bit this year, and they're a talented team that's coached well and just a bunch of tough boys up there. So they found a way.
I'm looking at a game from South Florence on Wednesday, May 14th. They win 2-0 over Beaufort, and South Florence was no hit. And they won
hard to do. That's hard to do.
That's impressive.
That's when you know you're good.
Wow.
Let's go to the 5th inning when they scored 2 runs and see how that happened.
I can probably tell you how it happened, but
I'm pulling that one up right here. Hit by pitch, walk, ground ball error, strikeout, walk, infield fly, ground out. I mean, got to.
That's a tough way to lose.
That's tough.
Yeah, I don't. Airport wins this runaway 2 games.
Runaway. Gee. They're hot. They're probably, if not the hottest team in the state, one of them.
Yeah, I don't see it being close. But we'll see.
Last time he said that, you got dog cuss so easy over there now.
Oh no, I got some big picks coming up for you. Here we go. We move to the Upper State Championship. Seneca took down Camden in 3 games. They'll face Daniel, who took down Fountain Inn in 3 games. Let's roll with the picks, baby.
Here's the question on this one. How's the pitching lineup for these things?
Mm-hmm.
I know it, but should we reveal it?
This is how you. Yeah, this is well. Every time you say you know the pitching, you're always wrong.
Vassy will take on Daniel for Seneca on Tuesday against Julian Baldwin of Daniel. Then we'll have Cutshaw going for Seneca on Thursday. We would assume that Luke Turner will go for Daniel on Thursday, and then Saturday for you. Saturday is to be determined. More like a Gamecock thing.
They got the new transfer rule just went in.
He hopped to the portal mid-season. Yeah, gotcha.
For Seneca, Daniel will get Ian McCrary back on Saturday. There you go.
I'm going to go.
Hey, before you make this pick, Seneca Daniel is probably the biggest rivalry other than Westside Tijuana in the upstate. So imagine I'm going to go Tuesday and I might die depending on the fans.
I was going to say, do you need a vest or are you safer with this?
I might need more than a vest.
But I'm saying for the hatred of Stewie.
It depends on who I pick.
Yeah, but it depends more. No, it's not as much as what you pick. It's what you say.
Where's the game on Tuesday?
Tuesday, Thursday. I'm going Tuesday at Seneca.
Okay. It's more your verbiage. It's not as much as who you pick. It's the verbiage of how you pick it.
That's what I always
on hype videos again.
I like being on hype videos.
Let me go. I'm gonna go Daniel. I like what Daniel's been doing. They just obviously took down pretty much the top team in 4A throughout the whole year, and because they dropped game 1, right? And then they took the last 2.
Yeah. They hit 17 home runs yesterday.
That's what I was going to say. They hit a bajillion home runs. Fountain Inn got a little taste of their own medicine, I guess. But they good. Yeah, shout out to those lines. I'll take Daniel to advance.
I mean, I think Daniel's offense 1 through 9 is better than the Cats. I think the Cats might obviously with Cutshaw on there has a little bit more higher end arms, but the Seneca has just found a way all year. And this is tour at Daniel, right?
No, tour at Seneca.
Tour at Seneca.
Daniel doesn't care about that.
No, they don't care. They don't. My daughter just walked in and said, "Shout out to my daughter Olivia." So, with that being said, I probably was going to pick Daniel, but I need to win the pool, so I'm going Seneca.
All right, Coach. Against me?
Against you. I gotta make a comeback. I've been making the comeback.
You still got to make a lot of Lakeview pick down there too, so that's gonna be a tough one.
Well, who'd you pick?
I'm not telling you. Gotta find out.
What? I would have found out.
You would have found out.
Defense wins championships. Daniel's kicked it around a lot. Seneca's played good defense. This is a tough one. I told Sean I was beginning the show. I was going to go back to my preseason picks. This is a tough one. Big rivalry. Seneca wears belts to the game on Tuesday. However, they're not taking those off. Give me the pain.
He's got the shirt on.
Train.
I gotta take off your thing here, but I gotta put you up. Look at that.
See, get there it is. Let me play it again for you.
Oh, no, we're good.
Rain.
We're good.
Where you go?
Hey, right here. Oh, you took it off, Sean. There you go.
Oh,
Give me the pain train. I think it is close though. However, they're too good right now, and I go back that preseason pick. Daniel just wins the whole damn thing.
Didn't somebody have them as a sleeper too?
how are they a sleeper?
Someone said, "Thanks for being the Corso pick of this series." You're welcome. I'm Lee Corso now.
You sure are.
About to be off the show then.
Here we are. We'll move on to some 5A picks now. We've made those picks. Your 5A Division II playoffs. Indian Land takes on Catawba Ridge.
Ooh.
Best of 3, a region rivalry there. Berkeley will take on West Florence for lower state championship and a best of 3 as well. How about the Stags?
Mm-hmm. Playing good. What's Brittle got on them? I saw him once up here during Optera.
Correct.
And Coach, you saw West Florence, right?
I did.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah, you saw Berkeley once. I saw Berkeley once. I saw West Florence. I went to West Florence. The game I saw them play, I was expecting a pitcher's duel of like a 2-1 ball game, and it was like 20-18 when I rolled out of there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was not a pitcher's duel.
West Florence has beat just everybody on their schedule except for Blythewood. They played their worst 2 games probably the whole year against Blythewood, and they beat everybody else.
Yeah. Coach Drewski, when are these starting again? I was trying to pull it up.
20th?
They start. It's the same as 4A. So Tuesday.
These are Tuesday.
Saturday.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I just couldn't remember.
Our seed will host Tuesday, Saturday.
All right, give me West Florence.
Ooh.
I got to go West Florence as well, even though I need to make a comeback. But
West Florence made the recap show at one point, whatever week that was.
Yeah. They got some arms. They obviously got a good offense.
Mm-hmm.
But
this one I don't even know, but I'm gonna stick to Coach Landy Cox here to win this. When Coach Landy's been here, and I think he makes it to the state championship.
Been there, done that. Coach, remember we had him on the coach's show the one year, and he was in the deer stand.
He's going hunting. He's going hunting for some West Florence Knights this week.
He was shooting him some stags, boy. He was in the deer stand doing the coach's show. It was beautiful.
You remember how far they I remember when I was here 3 years ago now at this point, but because they went up there and they that was when they beat Berkeley. That is, they beat Fort Mill.
Fort Mill.
Yeah. Had they
three.
gotten close to the state championship series in the last couple of years too? No. Down.
I mean, no, they have not like this. No.
Good for them. So Hudson Clark hit a bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Your upper state pick, Indian Land, took down Eastside the other day. Catawba Ridge takes down TL Hanna. Interesting here. I believe King Glauber will be available for Tuesday night to face Indian Land, and then they won't get Bryce Mill back until next Saturday. But
yeah, because he threw the other night.
Mm-hmm. I mean that 1-2 from Indian Land with Roberson and Blanchette, that's nothing to scoff at either. That they've been really good the whole year.
And well, Liam, he'll be available game 3. Will it be? Because he threw.
Did he just throw?
He just threw, right?
Mill?
I think so.
No, for Indian Land.
Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah, it'd be game 3.
He just threw.
Let me check. Did he
Yeah, that's
just
what I
throw
was-
against Eastside? Yeah, he
I
did.
thought he just threw. Yeah,
6 innings, 82 pitches on
Yeah.
Saturday.
yeah. So he wouldn't
he
be
wouldn't-
available till Saturday.
Gotcha.
Him and Mill would not be available till Saturday. Correct?
All right.
Yeah.
I'm
No, how many did he throw?
82.
82.
Do some
It's
math.
over the.
Yeah, that would be. Yep, that's right.
Yeah, still.
It's over 75. So yeah.
Yes.
There we go. Taking. We've been betting against Indian Land the whole year, and they've done nothing but prove it. And I'm going to make them do it again. Give me Catawba Ridge. Give me Catawba Ridge.
You make it. You know, how Caden Glauber has been pitching like a man on a mission here as of late. Drew, you saw him punch 18 out of the 21 outs against a very talented lineup. Gave up what, 2 hits? It's hard to bet against him when he's finding his groove, but that's one game. Indian Land's offense is, I would give the edge to there because they find a way to score a lot of runs.
Mm-hmm. A lot of
So,
seniors.
yeah, they win. You know, Glauber can't pitch all 3 games. I'm going Indian Land. I'm taking them to win it in a 3-game set.
All right.
Yep.
That
Okay.
and again, I got to go against Sean on this one too. So, but Indian Land wins it in 3.
I think Catawba does take game 1 with Glauber on the mound. And you say Glauber can't pitch all 3 games, but damn it, they got Mill on Saturday, and we've seen Mill, and Mill really pitched well against Hannah. A future game alum, a Shipyard Showdown team. Give me the Copperheads to not only advance to the state championship, but win the whole damn thing.
Wow.
Going back to my preseason picks.
I wonder how many of us had a pick preseason from this region. Because I was rolling with Fort Mill.
Me and Sammy.
Yeah, we had Catawba Ridge.
Who else was it? What did Austin have? 5AD2?
Austin had Jack and Jill, probably, I can tell you.
He had Hannah. He definitely had Hannah. Yeah.
He had Hannah.
Yes, he had Hannah.
Next year, what we should do, instead of picking teams, let's pick which region will be the hardest. Regions.
Me and Sammy had the exact same picks. Sleeper, player of the year, coach of the year.
When does all that player of the year, coach of the year stuff come out?
At the end of the year.
When the year's over with.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate
it. Our last classification here. You're 5A Division I playoffs, and we've got some big matchups. We'll start with the lower state side. James Island will take on Stratford, and what I would assume only 5 fans show up to these games. We'll start at James Island on Tuesday, move to Stratford Thursday, and if necessary, move back to James Island on Saturday. And I hope to God it's not 102 degrees at James Island on any of those days.
Just make sure you cover up that iPad, coach. That's all.
Yeah, cover up.
Hey, maybe also don't wear a hoodie. Well, you know what I mean? Like,
I took it off. Don't start with me.
Don't wear a short sleeve hoodie.
That's crazy.
I'll wear this one.
You see, the Trojans are up to like 30. We missed it on the last podcast, but they're up to like 34 in the national prep baseball rankings for high school teams. Pretty solid.
Got a chance to move up.
Don't let us down.
And give me the Trojans to advance. We love Stratford. We've been all over Stratford, obviously, at the beginning of the year, coming up here to Optera. But Trojans are just too talented, and they're playing really, really well right now at the right time of the year. And they're gonna continue that.
You know, this is a scary one because Stratford they have arms, but that offense is clicking. We know what James Island has. You know, we had Stratford pick pretty high early on, and then we saw them early, and they were either the best team we saw or like the worst team we saw very early. It's kind of weird, right? But they were also, a lot of times, how it is early on, you're trying to figure some things out. A couple pitchers were having to move around and do this, but obviously playing at an extremely high level and have been doing it for a long time. But it's until somebody beats them, I'm sticking with James Allen. I just gotta until they get beat. I think Stratford can very easily beat them, but I'm just gonna stick with JI because they're the defending champs and just got to get beat to do it. No different region or different classification, but
yeah.
What's the last game they lost?
Charlotte Christian.
Way to jinx them.
True.
You hear it here first. Sean Smith said their next loss is going to be Tuesday.
Even though I picked them. Yeah, they only won 3-1 or 2-1 and then 3-2 against Wando. Wando gave them a good fight.
And according to a source that was there close to the program, Wando had some opportunities to win that game. Kind of made a couple base running blunders late in the game and had an opportunity to get it from them. But, hey, they won. That's what winners do.
And then you let Taj Marchand do what he normally does, which is hit big-time home runs.
And hit 2 of them. Winners win. So that's all that matters.
Sticking back to my preseason pick, give me James Allen. Blythewood will take on Lexington in a best-of-3 Tuesday at Blythewood, Thursday at Lexington, Saturday at Blythewood, if necessary. Here we go. It's Sean's impartial here.
So my preseason pick was Lexington, James Island, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. Give me the Cats or the other Cats, Bengals.
Oh, which cat?
Which one are you going with?
Are you doing the Wild ones or the Bengals?
The Wild. Throw it up. Give me Lexington. Come on,
loser.
L-Town.
My backyard.
My preseason. Did I have Lexington?
Yeah, you were. We were all. I think we were all the same across the board. Let me check.
There's no way. Because y'all were giving me so much shit about taking Lexington. You guys were like,
Sammy,
Sean wants everybody
James Allen, Lexington, James Allen. Sean was the only Sean was technically different. He was James Allen, Lexington. Austin was James Allen, Dorman.
That was close. He was there. He was there. He was close. He was right there.
How about that game?
Man, this one's tough. I know. Talking about some electricity. This one's tough. I think these are very, very similar teams. Obviously, 2 coaches that have won a million games and know how to win games. But very similar teams. They both got really solid pitching staffs with deep guys that can do multiple things and bring in different looks. Kind of some athletic lineups. I don't know, man. The way, I'd hate to be a handicapper in this one. I'm gonna stick with my preseason one on this one. I'm gonna opt out and go an easy one on this one. I'm going Lexington. I don't know, man. This one's hard.
It's a tough one.
Can we go push? Can we go split in a rain out and the season just ends? This is hard.
When's Johnny Collins supposed to throw? Do we know?
It's a good. I think he should be pretty simple. He's pretty lined up, isn't he?
Let's see. They last played Friday. Did he just pitch? Yeah. So he went 103 pitches on Friday. So
he's game 3.
Yeah.
If we get there.
This
is a tough one. I think we do get to a game 3. And the fact that 2 of those games are at Blythewood. Whew.
Nearby.
Said I was sticking to my preseason picks. However, I'm not this time.
Oh, wow.
We're no longer in Lexington. The ballpark is not 250 around the field, and the wind's not blowing out. Blythewood wins the series in 3 games.
All right. Our viewers just went way up when you said that. So.
That pick's for Mr. Landon Penfield at College Charleston.
That's right.
After his grand slam of the night.
Another big weekend for him.
massive tank the other night.
Did you see the pimp job?
Yeah.
Hey, we'll
Former
see
future gamer.
We got future gamers everywhere, Coach.
Past, I should say, not former. Past future gamer. Sorry.
Former future gamer, past future, yeah.
Everything, all the above.
Alum, future game alum.
Alum.
There it is.
Well, we'll see what happens this week. Well, next Sunday we'll be able to make state championship pick.
Yeah.
Almost to the end, guys. Almost to the end.
We're getting there.
And then we'll have another Power 25.
we release there's an end of year Power 25.
There always is.
All right.
We'll get
I'll
that
put
one right.
Let's have Austin put that one together. How about that?
We'll get that one right.
Yeah, we hope.
Austin will
No,
have
not
West
really.
Oak number 1. We got anything else to add here, guys?
How'd the Tigers do this weekend? I didn't see.
You got a broom?
Who they play?
Pitt.
Don't worry about it. You got a broom?
Oh.
Pitt.
Are we? No, my bad. The Tigers won 2 of 3 down in the armpit at the South.
That doesn't mean
Tigers.
those guys. Got one. Surprised we got
All right.
bailed out.
Here's the question of the day for you. Sitting at 28-28, do they finish under 500?
Are they actually 28 right now? Yes, they finished under 500. You got Florida.
Coach Espo, when's the last time that happened?
I don't know. I'm not.
Coach, how about that documentary, huh?
It was incredible. It was Jake Williams and the crew there. They did a fantastic job telling a absolutely wonderful story about the crew back then and Charlie Peters and Baylor Teal and their whole family. So they did a fantastic job telling that story. So it was brought back a ton of memories and ton of emotions watching that. So me and my wife watched it again last night. So it was
Nice.
It was awesome.
Nice. Got home from the Diamond Devil Scout Day and fired that thing up there. That was pretty good.
Yeah, it was. It was incredible. It brought us back a lot of crazy memories and things you don't. That's what I told somebody at Diamond Devils. They were talking about it. I said, you remember a lot of the plays that happened over those course of those years. I said, but you don't remember a lot of those stories that were told, and those are obviously the really neat and more so important pieces to that story, right? The fan out there thinks the diving play by Wingo and the throw home is the important piece. The important piece is the stories what those players were telling and all that. And that was ultimately what matters, and seeing what those families went through and seeing how a group of 18 to 21-year-old kids were able to rally around families that were in reality going through hell. So that was awesome. So, and that kind of shows the character of kids that we had on those teams, and I think that's why good things were able to happen to those kids.
Not about it.
If they were
recruited by some good guys, huh?
If they were a bunch of turds, I don't think good things happened to them.
That's why Clemson's losing in the regional.
Oh,
wow.
Sean, at least you don't have to work for the regional.
Yeah.
True. You're right. Good for you.
Sean's got an early summer. I don't know. Your softball.
How about your softball? Your softball girl.
Yeah, how about softball? Come on. Yeah.
Super
Wrap that one up pretty quick.
First time since 2018 that I see.
In the supers? Yeah, I think so. It sounds right.
Yeah.
Hosting.
I was thinking it might have been
Just
since we were in
it.
the regional.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
First time in it. So big time for them. So
that's what I was thinking. I was
congratulations.
watching on TV and I was like, yeah, when's the last time they even they got to have a celebration like that? I was like, it's probably been years and years. But
Yeah,
shout out
2018.
to Coach Ashley Chastain Woodard doing a pretty good job down there.
Mm-hmm.
Not that they care about replay anymore though, but not my problem.
You gonna
They do, but it hasn't.
Huh?
We could be playing other things.
They're not using our stuff for the postseason, so I won't be done.
That's an NCAA thing, probably.
Hey.
I would assume.
But the Tigers take on the
In softball.
yeah.
That'll be the second time a Clemson team lost to.
Yeah, I'm not losing this damn time in Austin. Screw Austin. The Tigers make it to Oklahoma City
Oh,
by grace of God. Then the Tigers are going to take on the Gamecocks in the World Series final.
Sounds good to me.
what was Mr. Teal's comment in the thing? He goes, "There's three things that are guaranteed: death, taxes, and the Gamecocks beating Clemson and Omaha."
Only when one's coaching.
That was pretty good.
But here we are. Anything else to add, guys?
No, hey, busy week. Got a lot of new things floating out that'll come out on social media and the website stuff that's starting this week. I was hoping for Wednesday, but we got to get some things locked in registration-wise the beginning of the week. So who knows when that'll start to come out with the Diamond Devil stuff. But a lot of that stuff will start floating around, and then another big scout day coming up. But all in the middle, playoff coverage will be flying.
Here we go. We'll be out this week. At least me and Sean will. But so stay tuned to those social media accounts as they roll out. From all of us here at Prep Baseball South Carolina, good luck this week, playoff teams, and we hope you have a great week.